Hey everybody, today's video we're going to be talking about identity. Identity is a broad topic in which we are talking about how a person identifies or what traits they like to associate with themselves or how they see themselves. Examples of this may be someone sees themselves or identifies as a nerd or geek, or maybe a bit more specific such as a Star Wars nerd. Also, you have people who identify as a sports fanatic. Identity is also something that comes up in relation to gender, and this is how a person identifies. This is, of course, not to be confused with sex, which is the biological reproductive organs that you are born with that kind of go on medical files and things of that nature. But gender is how you identify, which has a much broader range. A lot of people like to identify with their heritage or where their family comes from, and this can be a cultural identity. Identity also can play into religious and philosophical notions. Some people identify as a Stoic, some people identify as Christian. And of course, you have people who choose to identify as Jedi. The identity of Jedi tends to incorporate a lot of different things, so it can be hard to kind of isolate exactly what that means. One of the more prevailing identifying traits of a Jedi is knowledge and patience. These two combined to really encompass the Jedi in a lot of different ways. Knowledge is just one of those core things that you find throughout Star Wars in relation to the Jedi. Whether you're looking at the movies, whether you're reading the books or the role-playing games or whatever you're looking at, knowledge is a core part of being a Jedi. It's about understanding what information is presented to you and acting upon the information that you have at hand. Knowing yourself is also a topic that is very much explored within the Jedi of fiction. And of course, this translates to us as well. Self-knowledge is a core part of the Jedi path. So knowledge is one of those identifying traits within the Jedi. We see it within our online community. Every community has its own training program. They have information that they want you to learn. There's always discussions on different topics that all kind of go towards knowledge, learning new things, learning about yourself, testing your own limits and boundaries. It's all about learning and knowing and growing, and it's all a core part of our path. Patience, I think, is another big identifying trait of a Jedi. This is something where a lot of people outside of the Jedi path tend to identify Jedi. I have been called a Jedi not because I've announced it to people, but because of my patience in dealing with difficult situations. I've seen this as a recurring theme for other Jedi in the community. Often due to their actions, they are considered a Jedi by outside people. Usually these people know that you're a Star Wars fan, but the fact that they equate the Star Wars Jedi with you because of that patience, because of that calm demeanor when dealing with difficult situations, really highlights what the Jedi are about. They aren't about that emotional knee-jerk reaction. They aren't about getting swept up in the chaos of a situation. The Jedi are about the reflective, calm, and patient understanding of a situation. They look to gain knowledge about a situation before they act. I think we see this more in relation to how things are going in society. We have a lot of fake news on social media platforms that are designed to grab the emotional side of people, to grab them by their passions. And they're headlines that just meant to not encourage you to read an article, just to share the article. You don't have to read it, you just have to read the headline, right? And you don't have to see what the source is because it's the headline that infuriates you or already speaks to something that you want to be true. For Jedi, we have to kind of stop, read that, look into it. What are the sources? Is this verifiable? Things of that nature. This is what Jedi do in just about any situation. Whether it's high school gossip, whether it's water cooler talk at the office, doesn't really matter. A Jedi is there to be calm, be patient, to seek knowledge, to seek understanding, and then see how they're going to proceed forward. And certainly being a Jedi is not for everybody. We've always talked about this, and we've always said, look, Jedi is a box. It is a big box, but it's still a box. You have to work within the framework of the path. You're not allowed to just be whatever you want and label it Jedi. So you are looking to identify with someone who cares about knowledge. You're talking about someone who is calm, at peace, patient. These are things that definitely reflect what a Jedi is. And that's not always seen in the same way. Patience isn't about just sitting on the sidelines or waiting for things to play out. There's active patience and inactive patience. There's different ways to be patient. They are actively pursuing a goal or an outcome, but they have to do that, right? And we have to do that within the framework of the path. Peace, knowledge, serenity, harmony, the Force. These are core tenets of our path and things that help shape how we respond and the actions that we take. Being a Jedi does not require you to identify as a Jedi in an open way. You can just live your life as a Jedi. You don't have to go around waving a banner saying, "Nah, I'm a Jedi now." You don't have to discuss that kind of information. However, you can identify, and people do. They share what they are. They share their gender identity. They share their religious identity. They share their loves and passions, whether that be Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatever form of geekiness that you may partake in. Ultimately, to be a Jedi is to identify with the core concepts of world betterment through self-betterment, wrapped up in Star Wars terminology, which is exemplified in our Jedi code: peace, knowledge, serenity, harmony, and the Force. So this video was requested, and I hope that I was able to answer or address the topic as desired. If not, you can always ask for more clarifying questions. We can talk about it in the comments section below. If you have a question on the Jedi path, you can ask in the comments below, and I'll take a look and maybe we can get a video out of it. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. You know where the buttons are. You can like, dislike, subscribe, unsubscribe, block, ban, whatever makes you happy. May the Force be with you. And articles on Jedi are truly the bad guys of Star Wars, and here's 10 reasons why, or whatever silly thing they can come up with.